Hey, what's up guys? This is Andrew Smorsek with Combat Training. In this video we're going to talk about barrel length on rifles. So, working in the gun store for a year and a half and then RSOing on the range and teaching classes and people hitting me up, texting me, calling me. Every time I talk to a first time gun buyer, everyone's wondering about the barrel length on the rifle. What rifle should I get? Should I get AR pistol? You know, what size should I get? And they're overthinking this shit, okay? Now, there are times where it's good to have a smaller rifle, okay? But in general, you don't really need it, okay? The major thing that people always want a smaller rifle for is for home defense and be able to clear rooms more efficiently. Now, check this out. I used to do this all the time for people at the store. I still do it on the range. I just want to put a video out there so I don't have to demonstrate constantly and talk about it on the phone and text messages. Alright, when I hold my rifle out, it's out here, right? Now I got a 20-inch barrel on this. Now when I pull out my pistol is at the same spot, right? Maybe it's a little bit shorter because it's the 20-inch barrel. Now of course I can always bring the pistol in, right? And I can even go to a high pectoral index if I have to when I'm fighting, to bring the gun closer to my body and be able to have better retention on it. But now, check this out. Again, the pistol is basically out here, a little bit longer with the 20-inch barrel. If you had a 16-inch barrel, it'd be about the same, okay? But now, I need to bring it in. You don't have to have it in your fucking shoulder, alright? So check this out. We can make shots like this, especially at contact distances. You're fighting inside a house and the guy's right here on you, or you're trying to get by a corner, you don't need the fucking rifle in your shoulder to do that. And there's a lot of tight spaces where it's impossible to do that. So, think about it like this. To be good at clearing rooms, you don't need a small rifle. You need to know how to clear rooms, okay? This is something that is not often talked about. Now, I went through infantry training battalion at School of Infantry before I hit the fleet, and a lot of time when I was in the fleet before my first deployment, I had an M16A4 like this, right? This is a 20-inch barrel with a fixed stock. I had this. And the short stocking method was something we always practiced, but it's nothing we ever did live fire. We never practiced this live fire. We'd only do it when we were using blanks or the guns were unloaded and we were practicing room clearing, but we never did it live fire. So this is something I actually have my students do. We do contact shooting with the rifle. And I got this rifle specifically to prove the point that you don't need a super small rifle. Now, also, when you go to a shorter barrel, you lose velocity, and then the gun gets more concussive and a lot louder. Maybe that's a good thing for you because you want to scare the shit out of them every time you shoot them. But think about it like this, velocity. So with a shorter barrel, downrange, it's going to be more affected by wind. And I'm not talking within 100 yards. That's different. That's not a big deal. But it will be more affected by wind because the round is moving slower because you have a shorter barrel. Also, because the round is moving slower, it will, in general, have worse terminal effects on the target. As in, when the round hits the target, it's not going to do as much damage. It's going to be harder to incapacitate him. But don't get wrapped around the axle about that and say, oh, well, I got 300 blackout. If you're buying your first rifle, don't fucking buy 300 blackout. Stick with a round that you can buy by the 1,000 at all times. I swear to God, like so many guys that I've seen who bought 300 blackouts, they literally have a second job going to fucking gun shows and searching the internet and checking every store to find out that no one has 300 blackout. 655-6223. But now, the other thing, let's talk about AKs, right? Inside a vehicle, it is better to have a shorter gun, okay? Now with an AK, we don't have the bolt carrier group going back inside the stock. So if you want a shorter gun, you could still get a 16-inch AK and be good to go, right? This 16-inch barrel, plus that break, however long. It's a little bit longer than 16 inches. I don't fucking wrap my mind around it that much. But with an AK, since we don't have the bolt carrier group going back inside the stock, you can get folding stocks, right? Now again, inside a vehicle, if you had to punch rounds through the windshield because there's fucking people crawling all over and your car won't start and everything's going wrong, you can fire just like this, or if there's enough space, you could even punch it out like this. You have to maintain control. Don't fucking have it come back, beat yourself in the face. But it's just shit that people don't really think about, right? Most people have only shot on the range, or they have military training, but they didn't really do anything that interesting. And I will in the future be doing a couple videos on why military training isn't that great. But hey guys, simple thing is, if you're buying a rifle, it's your first rifle, make sure it's a common caliber. Okay, I would tell you get an AR-15 just because it's easiest to get stuff for that, as far as magazines and ammo and accessories, all that shit. AR-15 is the easiest one to get that stuff for. Get in 223, 5.56, and don't buy a 223 only gun. Make sure it's 5.56 or 223 Wild, and don't buy that 223 gun from the 90s just because it's not supposed to handle the same pressures that a 5.56 gun is. And if you're getting an AK, don't get a 5.56 one, get a 7.62 by 3.9 or a 5.45. Now I would tell you just get a 7.62 by 3.9. It's the easiest to get good mags for it. But don't freak out about barrel length, guys. 16 inches or greater. I wouldn't go shorter than 16 inches if you don't have to. The other thing is a lot of these AR pistols, they run like shit. They jam a lot. Their gassing is all fucked up. And especially when they get below that 10.3 inch barrel length. Now, if you were going to do something like that, I would tell you get an AK. And I would tell you probably, it's like an M92, something like that. This is a Stava AK pistol. The barrel will stop right about there. And then there's also the Draco, but get the Romanian one, not the American made one. Get the Romanian one. You get one of those and the barrel stops right about there too. And you could still have a folding brace on it. And if you were going to go with something super small, that's what I would do. I would probably stay away from AR pistols. Of course, if you buy something Gucci that is quality, it will run. It'll be fine, you know. But in general, you don't need a super small gun. Alright guys. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Again, thank you to all my students, all my subscribers, everyone who's been ordering stuff from me. You guys are the fucking best. You make all this possible for me, and I appreciate it. So, stay safe and keep fighting communism.